been a busy week out at the dealership. Tax days, hopefully everybody got a big refund and they want to buy a new car. That would be good. And we've had some storms. We did our first hail dance of the year where we move all the cars inside, which is kind of weird. We sold, I think, 6 cars yesterday, including 2 Tacomas, and we had virtually not all the Tacomas because we have a bunch right now, but we had them, about 12 of them on the showroom, packed in there, and we had to move them around, get them out. One fellow came all the way from Indiana to buy a Tacoma at Doenges Toyota. Yeah, no, he's what they call an overlander. He modifies his vehicles and makes it into this like a camping adventure vehicle. So he's going to put a power supply in there and all kinds of shelving and kitchen stuff, so he can go all over the country in his Tacoma. Have a pop-up tent on top, so he can sleep on the vehicle. And he had a vehicle that broke down in Bartlesville. Is how he found us, and he got it fixed. And when he got home, he was like, maybe I should get a Tacoma. And I heard the whole story. I think we all did. He was quite a talkative fellow. Great history, though, and an interesting man. So, Tom, if you're listening out there, he's driving 12 hours back home. Left this morning. I got to say goodbye. He was in the dealership again this morning, first thing. But I've got my friends Emily and I'm sorry. Let me get here. Sarah and Emily from the okay, I'm just losing it. Bartlesville Civic Ballet, and from the Bartlesville Symphony Orchestra. So, and you guys coordinate a lot because the ballet needs the symphony a lot. I mean, that's one of the unique things about our ballet is it actually has a symphony most of the time or many times during your shows.
We do get to utilize the symphony music aspect of it in the ballet, and so having those incredible composers of Tchaikovsky's music, specifically with this year being Tchaikovsky with Nutcracker and then the Sleeping Beauty also. It's really amazing. Is this weekend? It is this weekend. We're really excited. It's the biggest production we have ever put on.
Really?
It is. The Sleeping Beauty is a quintessential, I would say, cornerstone of ballet. It is what modern ballet is based on. Yes, it is.
I know that because you guys came to the Rotary Club.
Yes, we did. We got to enjoy time with you.
We got to see some of the dancers and hear the story. It was wonderful.
It's fascinating. The history is just incredible. But with this one specifically, our dancers are able to do a lot of the original choreography from 1890 from the choreographer Pettipaw, which is amazing that they have that level of technique and ability. And then we have 4 guest artists for this production instead of just our normal 2. They're coming from all over the country, from Canada even. They will be here today. We're excited to share the stage with them. It's going to be great. The props are bigger. There's more backdrops. There's more of a story to tell, more character. It really is such an incredible production. It has been a beast to bring together, but everybody has worked so hard.
Well, you have these professional dancers, which is awesome.
Yes.
Come and bring their talent to Bartlesville, but the most of the show is made up with local people, with local children and people that are in the dance program here. It's amazing and great thing going on. And also with the symphony, you guys have an event this weekend. Chamber Series continues.
Yes, so this is our finale of the Chamber Series for this year. So for those that don't know, the Chamber Series is kind of a more approachable, more intimate setting type program. And so we have done the Veterans Concert, which was a brass quintet. We had our incredible Valentine concert that was, Lauren wore many hats, literally and figuratively, at that event. It was a lot of fun, but it's more intimate. You're looking at like 50 or less attendees at those. So this one is actually at 1908 on Saturday at 6 p.m. It will feature my harpist, Lorelei Barton. She's very gifted. We have called it Not My Mother's Harp Playing. My mother doesn't actually play harp, but what I think we're trying to get there is that it's going to have a variety. So we're talking classical, Broadway pops, but then also musical embellishments. So things like sound effects that you can do with the harp. And then she also just makes it pretty conversational. So
Harp is one of those really interesting instruments.
it is. It is.
People, I mean, it's kind of, not a lot of people take harp lessons,
Right, right. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do. I
I
didn't,
it
but
doesn't seem like it.
somebody has.
I'm sure someone does,
Right.
yes. But it is a beautiful instrument, and 1908. A lot of people may not even know what that is. It's
Right.
kind of a unique location to
It
have a
is.
show. Back in, I think you have to kind of enter from the alley behind
You do.
Lollipops.
That's
It's
exactly right. That's exactly right. So it's really neat because it's like when you walk in, it's not just, oh, I'm attending a concert. It's a full experience. So you get there, and 1908 really sets the tone for that. So we're really looking forward to collaborating with them, and we hope to have a good turnout for it.
And then tomorrow night, before all this on Saturday night, we've got the Bartlesville Art Walk.
Right.
And the Art Association puts this on the last few years, and it's a great time to get downtown and explore the artists in Bartlesville and walk around. And we talked about it a good bit last week, but I'm going to remind everybody, get out if it should be beautiful tomorrow night after the storms clear out, hopefully. Anyway, fingers crossed. And
I drove my car in yesterday, and Brad said, I said, well, my car's under the roof. And he said, well, my car's not.
it survived. It was all right. The hail
Yes.
the hail wasn't quite big enough, hopefully, to damage most things. The trees took a beating, but
Yes, they did. I know. It was a lot.
it was crazy. Yeah, no, it's that time of year, and. The art walk tomorrow. Then on Saturday, the ballet and the little chamber series. Not Your Mother's Harp playing.
Right. Well, and ballet is also on Sunday.
On
as
Sunday,
well.
yes.
It is for both, yes.
Yes.
So you can do
Don't forget.
all of it.
Right.
And-
Yeah, all three.
And
Yes.
kind of we have an art theme here, I think, developing. And you guys were telling me about a new consortium of all the arts organizations in Bartlesville and how you guys are trying to coordinate everything together. And that's kind of emphasized by both of you being here.
Yes,
So
yeah.
tell us about that.
Well, Emily has been quintessential in bringing together and starting this. It's called Arts in Bartlesville Coalition. And she has really connected with all the arts organizations around our community because we are so rare in our ability to be able to sustain all of these various kinds of arts, whether it's active musical art or actual like painting art,
Yeah.
just various different kinds, theater, so on and so forth. And so Emily has connected with all of these different organizations, brought them together and said, hey, let's pool our resources. Let's help one another out. How do you do this? How do you do that? And it's just been really good to start the conversation. How could we partner better with the Symphony and the ballet? How could we partner to support the Bartlesville Arts Association? How do we partner with CMT or Broadway in Bartlesville? And how do we support one another to recognize just how much we are able to have here in Bartlesville?
Bartlesville is so unique in the richness of its nonprofits in general and arts organizations and how they work together. I think for a community our size, I can't imagine that it's not just unusual and truly
It is
unique.
unusual.
Right.
It is true.
That's just another example of that. But back to the symphony, I do want to talk about the other stuff that you have going on, and how's Lauren doing?
He's wonderful. He's just, I'm so proud of him. It has been a pleasure working with him. It started many years ago as I just attended a concert, and I don't have a musical background, so it's like this is the type of person that we want to get where you just kind of knock the socks off of someone with like, oh, cool, we can do that in Bartlesville. I didn't know. You know? And then I joined the board, and then I went on staff as an associate, and then now I'm getting to be an executive director, and so that's been a lot of fun to see him through different lenses, different perspectives.
Yeah.
Of what
Well,
all
he's been a
goes
friend
into it.
and been on the show many times, and I think people will be surprised. I mean, he has been a part of this for 50
Yes,
years
this is coming
almost.
up on his 50th season.
And the
Right.
symphony itself goes back over 70 years in
So
Bartlesville.
we're coming up on 70 the year after his 50th.
Right,
So very close, yes.
very close, and
Yes.
it was I think it was called the Little Symphony at first, and then the Phillips Symphony, and
Right.
then it became the Bartlesville Symphony in the 70s,
Right.
and But I'm thinking about that. Things like the community center might never have been built if the symphony and the ballet weren't here and didn't need a place to do your performances.
Well, it's been great collaborating with them. They have great staff there that they really want to see the arts succeed in Bartlesville.
Yeah.
And then for us as performers, it's a very convenient location. They're very helpful. It's been really fun getting to see everything come to fruition on
Well, and of
that.
course, having that place where it can all happen, and especially for the performing arts, that it just creates this, the opportunity to do what you guys do and to get the young people in Bartlesville involved. And I know both organizations are passionate about that.
Right.
And you guys, I love the when you bring all the kids in the
Yes.
symphony. What's it called?
So that's Link Up.
Link Up,
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. You've sponsored that many years.
Yes,
for us.
we love that one because
Yeah.
it's you have the kids all in there with the kazoos or whatever they're playing,
Well, we
and
have two options. You
Okay.
can do the ukulele, and then we also do the recorder. I was going to
Okay.
say tin whistle. That's not it. It's a recorder. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we want to get students exposed to live arts.
Yes.
It's really important from a young age that they start to appreciate that, and they have the unique opportunity in the city of Bartlesville to experience that. So the Bartlesville Symphony Orchestra also offers free student tickets with the purchase of an adult ticket for a regular main stage season. So
Awesome.
it's important to us that you get to experience it, not only just viewing it, listening to it, but also connecting with other people within our community. So it started out as, we're rubbing elbows with all the executives, really well attended, and a big experience every time with the
Yeah.
Bartlesville Symphony Society, where the ladies put on
Right.
big parties before. And so this is one of the great things about Lauren, is that he has been with us 50 years, but he has adapted over those 5 decades, not only in what we're providing from, an artistry standpoint, but also just taking into account what do people want to see, what would be interesting.
Yeah,
So last
keeping
year
it
he did
interesting,
the video games, and then in May 16th is our season finale, and I think maybe did Lauren talk about this at the last?
I don't think
I'm
so.
not sure.
No.
Okay, so this is a really big one because Peter Boyer, a composer, has made this goal to play this specific piece in all 50 states.
Wow.
And he's played it in 49. It's been played in 49. Bartlesville is the Oklahoma premiere of this specific piece. So
Awesome.
we make his 50th, make his season complete, or his goal complete, rather.
That's great.
So,
Well,
yeah.
and so May 16th
May
is the
16th,
finale.
That's our finale, yes. So
Awesome.
it's called Colors of America, and it really shows the variety and diversity of composers, of American composers. So we have, I'm gonna butcher it. We'll need to come back.
Okay,
and talk about
you're
it.
welcome
I'm
to
not
come
gonna
back
do
and-
it justice.
no.
Oh no, I'll need Lauren. because
Okay,
he-
well, Lauren
he
is
can do
welcome
it
anytime. He
justice,
knows
yes.
that.
But it will be quite interesting, and we would love to collaborate with more groups as well, and get them involved with it. So it's gonna
Awesome.
be fun.
Well, this is great. A few minutes here. Let's talk about cars and Toyotas. I mentioned we had a fellow come all the way from Indiana to get a Tacoma at the beginning of the show, but we got a drop off last night of a whole bunch of other vehicles after the storms went through, or the round in the afternoon went through. There was another one later, but we had 6 new Toyotas dropped off. We have one of our best inventories in a long time. I mentioned the Tacomas. We've got Tacoma, Tundra, Highlander, Grand Highlander, RAV4s, 4Runner. A really great. Forerunner's kind of cool because you can get them for around $45,000 that are really, with a 4x4 and with a lot of value in that vehicle these days. With most new cars costing $50,000-$60,000, and we're seeing more and more demand for lower priced vehicles with inflation and with people's budgets being strained with higher gas prices. And the whole Toyota value proposition is worth reminding people. I mean, virtually every vehicle we have comes in a hybrid version. You can also get plug-in hybrids, full battery electric, but the fuel economy on just a great sedan like a Camry is over 50 miles to the gallon. And if you compare that to its competitors in the market, you can save $1,400 to a couple $1,000 a year just on fuel. And so that plus Toyotas are known and historically have depreciated a lot less than other vehicles, and that's just because they're so well made and they just don't devalue as quickly as other cars. And
I think
so
the last 3 customers that I saw purchase a vehicle from us, whether it was a Tacoma or a Tundra or even a Camry, they got in and started it, and they're like, "Is it started?" And like you couldn't hear.
So quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is a lot of value in that.
yeah, no, so it saves you money over time. We do have a lot of lower cost vehicles that you can really get into at great value. If used cars are obviously important, and we're seeing more and more demand for used cars. To be just a little background, in March, used car index, which is published by a guy named Jonathan Smoke with Cox Automotive. The value of used cars went up 6.2% in March, which is really an anomaly. Used cars usually drop over time, but they've been going up recently, and that's because the supply is just lower in demand. I mean, higher than demand. The supply is lower than the demand. Okay, I had it right the first time. But what that means for you guys out there is your car is probably worth more than it was. It is a good time to trade. The opportunity to get more for your car is really out there. We've seen values on we're an Kelley Blue Book instant cash offer buying center where we get a lot of opportunities to look at people's cars. And we saw one recently go up in about 90 days. The value of the vehicle went up $2,000. So don't just assume that it's worth less. Come talk to Bruce at the dealership. You can start the process really easily on our website where you put in a little bit of information about your vehicle. It'll give you an estimated value. It's actually more than that. It's a cash offer for your vehicle. We need to confirm that, but often we can give you quite a bit more when we confirm it, and if it checks out to have no issues. It's really important right now that we restock our used car inventory. We're always looking to buy more cars, so if you are wanting to take advantage of that, reach out to our team at the dealership. Another thing I did want to mention is we got last night in the new cars that were delivered a Sequoia Capstone, which is the high-end Sequoia highest-end model. TRD Pro and Capstone, I guess you could split the difference, but Capstone is really a beautiful vehicle. It's got all the features and options. So if you've been waiting for one of those, come on out and take a look. We've got it in stock today. And we also this week got another inventory allocation. So these are just now being prepared for us and will reach us in the next few weeks. We get those twice a month from Toyota, and we're selling quite a few more cars than we did last year and growing, but at the same time our stock on the ground really hasn't grown. So if you look out there, that's one reason why we can pull them all inside. There just we don't have too many on the ground, but that helps if you think about it with the depreciation of the cars, not having more supply than there is a demand for our cars. The Toyota is such a great vehicle that you want to check these out, or at least compare it if you're out shopping. We've got, like I mentioned, plug-in hybrids in the latest allocation. We did get our first plug-in hybrid of the brand new RAV4 allocated to us, and our first of the brand new CHR, which is coming back. CHR was made for a few years, but now it's coming back as a battery electric vehicle, and that should be here in a few weeks. So if you want to talk to our team about that, give them a shout at 918-333-0900, or you can go to the website at doengestoyota.com. And that's probably enough cars for today, but so tell us again about what's going on this weekend. How do we get tickets? What's the what do the people need to do? And for the ballet, when are the shows?
Yes.
And how do we get tickets?
Awesome. We have our first production performance is on Saturday at 7:30, and you can get tickets at the center, whether on the website or you can just walk right into the box office and get those. And then the second performance will be Sunday at 2. So
At
either
2,
one
so
is available.
matinee on
Yep,
Sunday?
matinee on Sunday, evening performance Saturday.
And it's the largest production.
The largest production we have ever done, easily.
Incredible. How many dancers are in it?
This one, I would say there's around 50, but they are playing a multitude of roles. There are a
Okay.
lot of quick changes happening in the background. Most of our advanced dancers, if not all of them, I believe, are in the pancake tutus, which is always really exciting, the big flat ones that our artistic advisor, Soily Arvola, has made. So they're beautiful works of art in and of themselves, and they have to be very careful with how they put them on, carry themselves in them, no touching. They have to keep that five feet
Awesome.
kind of distance. It's kind
And
of
it's
fun.
Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping
It's a
Beauty,
great
yes.
story.
With 4 guest artists, 2 from Boston Ballet, playing our Aurora and our Prince Desiree. And then we have 2 who are going to be performing as Bluebirds, which is
Okay.
one of the variations. Oh, it's so fun. I can't wait to watch it all come together.
And you guys have this ongoing throughout the year where dancers are involved
Yes,
in
our
working.
academy.
So how does the academy work, and how do you tell us about
Well, the
that?
Academy is just what everything bases off of. It is the foundation of what we do. So with Academy, you get training in ballet technique. Ballet is unique in the fact that everything is generationally taught. So it's been passed down for centuries at this point in its way of being instructed. We have incredible instructors at our academy. We start as young as age 3, and then we've expanded to not only offering free classes for boys, because that's a big need in this art. We need boys that grow into young men that can lift and partner and do the things that are needed to be able to pull off these kind of productions.
Our sons were in
Yes,
the
and we're
Nutcracker,
amazing. Yes, I'm so grateful for the young men that come in and perform on stage. They add such an element to the productions and to
Well,
the
it's
partnership.
it was something that they started when they were
Yes.
kids, crawling across the stage. And I love to
Little
be
angels.
behind the curtain and come on over here.
Yes, you have to get them off quickly. They love their moment, but they do need to come off.
And it was, they love to play soccer too and all
Yes,
that. It was
yes.
a bit outside of their comfort zone, I
Yes,
suppose.
but
But that kind of
well-roundedness,
teaches you
yes.
that
There's a
comfort in
balance.
getting out of your comfort zone
Agreed.
and being, on stage and able to it's a great
So
thing
what
to
we
learn.
do in Academy helps grow into
Yeah.
what they can do on stage. It gives them the technique, it gives them the strength and conditioning they need to be able to pull off the choreography and the difficulty needed for these performances.
Great, and on to the symphony. You guys have before the ballet, pretty
That's correct.
much.
Yes.
So
Correct.
you could potentially may go to
could hit
both,
them.
I suppose.
You probably could. You probably could. I'm splitting it into 2 days. So that
Okay,
I'm not
that's
traveling.
probably more convenient.
So I'll be
yeah.
at the
You
Sunday
can eat dinner
performance.
that way.
Right,
Yes.
right. Well, so actually dinner is part of
Oh,
the
okay.
concert. So you come and you purchase your ticket to see Lorelei perform on the harp, but also you purchase dinner through
Oh, okay.
1908, which is
And
part
it's
of
probably
the
a kind of a
policy.
limited seating in 1908.
It is. So there are only 30 seats available. I don't have the specific ticket count as of right now. I'm sorry. I should have had that for you. So tickets are limited. We want to get those sold as quickly as possible to ensure that you have a seat. You can purchase them through 1908's website. I'm also pushing it through social media, and it's also on bartlesvillesymphony.org just to make it a quick and easy way for you to click on over and purchase those tickets. So.
And you mentioned your website. There's tons of information there about all the other programs and concerts you have going on. And I know you guys have been getting ready for next season. And
Oh, we have. And Lauren announced, we did a soft announcement to just a few people on Saturday for next season, but it is incredible. It is one that people are going to want to get their season tickets and be at every concert. It is amazing. So I want to spill the beans, but I really shouldn't. I should
we'll save
not.
it for later. Tell
Yes,
Lauren he's got to
so
come
good.
on when it's time
He
to
will
talk
gladly,
about
I'm
this.
sure.
Let's get him back
Yes.
on and talk about this.
Yes, it's going to
His
be great.
50th year in
Yes.
Bartlesville, which,
Yes.
we were talking before the show, but it must be, that must be unique. Another thing about it
Very
that's,
unique.
that is probably one of the longest relationships of an orchestra with the conductor
Right.
going in the
Right.
world.
hard because we don't really have like long-standing databases across American orchestras necessarily, and ours is unique because we are a smaller community, but we're still high caliber. So he is approaching his 50th, and I think the longest standing was, last I looked, was 49 years with a youth orchestra, was one conductor, and then I think another was maybe out of Boston, and that was 60 years. So definitely one of the highest. I'd say top 10. He's like number one in my book, you know. So, but yeah, it's very unique for Bartlesville, and I plan to try to push that as much as I can for exposure for Bartlesville.
He's a great resource for
Yes.
our city, and both organizations have been for so long, you know, giving our community access to the arts and to performing arts in a way that is unique for a community our size. And like I said, it's helped us have things like the community center and other resources that we have, and that
really
benefit
draws
other
in-
arts,
yes.
whether it's all the other organizations we have, and you know, so I encourage anybody interested to get involved. Reach out to the art association if you like to just do tactile art and whatever.
Right.
They're great. They have that, or go check it out tomorrow night in the Bartlesville
Right.
Art Walk. And again, you've got this consortium now.
Yes.
If,
Arts in Bartlesville Coalition.
Arts in Bartlesville Coalition, ABC.
That's right. It includes what is it? Community concerts, OKM, BAA, BSO, Bartlesville
BCB,
Civic Ballet,
Theater Bartlesville,
Theater Bartlesville, CMT, right? Yes.
Chorale.
And Corral, yes.
Wow.
So, and we've invited others too. Sometimes it works out for schedules and sometimes it doesn't. We just try to share our schedules with one another so that people that attend can attend as many of the events across the board and really be
Coordinated,
exposed to the arts. Yeah.
That's
It brings in
awesome.
great tourism as well, and we love to show what Bartlesville has.
Well, thank you both for being on the
Thank you.
show.
Thank
We
you for
really
having us.
appreciate your time and for the great content that and hopefully everybody enjoyed listening to and finding out more about your organizations and
Thank
what's
you.
going on this weekend. It is a busy time in Bartlesville as we're getting on into springtime, and more storms will be here tomorrow afternoon, I'm sure, but we'll make it through
Decent
that
threat.
too.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Hopefully we'll be all right and get it out of here before the art walk gets going
Right.
too much.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt.
Anyway, and it's almost baseball season. We're excited
Yes.
that the Doenges Indians are getting geared for since 1941 we've been sponsoring this baseball team, the Guinness record for the longest corporate sponsor of a sports team in the world.
Congratulations.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
Really excited.
Yeah.
Have new coaches and tryouts are coming up soon. So we'll be talking about that over the next few weeks.
Yep. Yeah, we had a story on it this morning on the sports site. It's on our website. May 2nd, I think, is the morning. That's a Saturday. So a couple weeks from this Saturday. So it should be fun.
Wesleyan, because the high school team is
Yeah.
using the
Still be
Doenges
using it.
Stadium.
Yep. But should be fun. Yeah, looking forward to it.
All right. Well, I appreciate everybody's attention today. And if you are looking for a car, come talk to us at Doenges. Our non-commissioned sales team is out there to help you through the process. That's really our goal, is to not be pushy, make it fast and painless to buy a car. And that's why people come all the way from Indiana to buy cars.
That's right.
Brad, appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Evan.
Edition of Car Talk here on K1. It's 9:59. Temperatures still in the 60s across the area. We'll get a check of weather from the News on 6 in just a moment.
Thanks for listening to One-on-One with a Professional, a paid presentation at 1400 K1.
Quieter weather settling in for our Thursday. Some pleasant temperatures this morning. Back to warm and humid weather later this afternoon. A high around 84 degrees with more afternoon sun breaks and a lighter but still steady south breeze. Still can't totally rule out an isolated shower or storm. Lows in the upper 60s Friday morning.